Welcome back, folks. No break in the action here live on eKartingNews.com because we are right into it. We had a 40-minute delay earlier in the pre-main, so we are on schedule to continue racing right on through. And again, it's racer ready for all the drivers in the paddock. We will be going green as soon as we possibly can. Up now, the first of our 6 main events of the day, ladies and gentlemen, the Allison Performance Group sponsored Junior Rotax class. Good fight in that pre-main. We expect to see this all year long. Nick Bruckner and Stingray Robb will be on the front row. Bruckner in the number 274, Stingray Robb in the 204. Row 2, great start to the year for Kellen Ritter in the number 299. He'll start third alongside Trey Brown. Row 3, it'll be David Alavia and Mason Cohen, while row 4 has Matt Keys and Michael Mischoff. Andy Breidinger in the number 278 starting ninth alongside Stevie Pugsley Jr., while row number 6 has Dante Yu and Justice Leppy. David Rafiloff and Tony Breidinger will be on row 7, while Jeff Fulham and Max Fedler occupy row number 8. Row 9, Zoe Edenholm and Jonathan Schoen. Row 10, Sophia Price and Everest Fedler. Row 11, Miguel Ruiz and Logan Gonzalez and Jacob Astron. Hopefully with the opportunity to start on row number 12. Drivers in position, folks. We are underway. Green, 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 racing for the first main event of 2015. Front 3, 4, 5 rows clean coming out of turn number 1. Not too bad. Everybody back out of that corner and through over to turn number 2. Can they get through cleanly here as well? 3 wide. Couple drivers up and over the curbing, not too bad. Everybody settling into position. Aggressive up front as we expect. The drivers trying to find their place in the order. 2 wide coming into 4, 5. Once they get to the S's, this will put them all in single file. Underway. Setting up the roll down the back straightaway. Who has the lead this time by? Looks like Stingray Robb and Nick Bruckner's pulling the stretch away. Bruckner to the bottom of the racetrack going into 11. He'll take the lead over from Robb. They'll come out of 12. Bruckner and Robb 1, 2. And right there is Kellen Ritter in the 299, the BBR Karting Cosmic. Here goes Robb to the bottom. Ritter's going to try to go by him. 2 and he through. Kellen Ritter into second spot. Who is this Kellen Ritter? Not the same kid we saw the last couple of years, showing poise and speed here. Bruckner trying to go back by in 4. Best just to let him through and tuck back in. Good job for Ritter. Kellen's father, Chris, having a birthday here. He'd love to see his son run strongly onto the podium. 2 drivers off at the end of turn number 4 as they went off, connected to each other, off into the essentially gully between the corners. All the runoff here. Both of those drivers off the racetrack. We'll try to fill you in on who they are next time by. Those drivers off the racetrack. Jacob Astron, the driver involved early on in the day, not able to get back out to race here. We wish him the best. Hopefully he's okay, and we'll maybe be able to get back racing with us tomorrow. Drivers involved, Stevie Pugsley Jr. and Jonathan Schoen involved over at the exit of turn number 4, so they're only able to get 1 lap in the books. Back up front, Stingray Robb leads the way over Bruckner. Ritter runs in 3rd. Good fight here for 4th position. A lot of dirt in the racetrack coming to turn number 5 as a couple drivers went off track on the exit of 4 and came back on, so probably a little slippery on the entrance to turn 5. Mason Cohen and Michael Mischoff, the 2 drivers, 4th and 5th. The 227 of Cohen and the 220 of Mischoff. Definitely a 3-driver breakaway here, folks. Robb, Bruckner, and Ritter. Here goes Bruckner to the inside of turn 4. Book it. Nice pass as Bruckner dives the Tony Kart to the apex. Here comes Robb back to the inside as Bruckner does not defend at all going into 5. And that allows Robb to get a better run out of the corner and tuck it back down to the bottom of the racetrack. Again, it's the race to turn number 6 and 7 to see who's going to single file it through the S's. Down the back chute. About a 3-kart length lead for Robb as Kellen Ritter has put his name in the hat for a race win. Ritter Good to the inside of Bruckner. Here comes Ritter. Book it. Kellen Ritter to P2. Bruckner, though, almost drives him off the track on the exit. Stingray Rob continues to set the pace out front. Nick Bruckner runs in second spot. Ritter runs in the third position. Fourth now, the 220 and Mischoff. Fifth is LePay. Justice Leppy, who's done a great job working his way back up in the hunt. Leppy started in the 12th position, has now worked his way up to 5th. Stingray Rob, a 0.6 of a second advantage, 52.626 for Rob, 52.721 for Bruckner, and a 52.709 for Kellen Ritter. They've got about 2 seconds on the rest of the field as three-driver breakaway. Ritter trying to close back up on Bruckner. His last time by, about a 10th slower. 4th, 5th, and 6th having a good battle, as is 7th, 8th, and 9th. 4th, 5th, and 6th, Mischoff, Leppy, and Cohen. 7th, 8th, 9th, Dante Yu, Jeff Fulham, and Annie Breidinger. Best we've seen Breidinger run as she's in her last year of junior racing and has really started to show well. I believe the last year for Annie, but man, is she ever running good here today. .52.583 fast lap for Rob, now out to about a lead of about 0.7 of a second. Great racing all the way, even outside the top 10. These young kids are going at it. Breidinger 8th, Dante Yu 9th, David Rafaloff 10th, Trey Brown in 11th, David Alavi in 12th, and Zoe Edenholm, the driver out of Arizona, up into the 13th spot. Edenholm in the number 221 trying to close back up on Alavia. Bruckner just set fast lap of the race, a 52.561, closing to within 7 now. Bruckner with 18 laps still to go. Remember, a 25-lap main event, a long way to go for these drivers. They just got to settle into the battle. Fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh right together. Then it's 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. All nose to tail. That second group, Breidinger leading it in the number 278. Dante Yu right there, as is David Rafaloff, Trey Brown, and David Alavia. As I said, Zoe Edenholm trying to close up as well. Edenholm back by about 0.8 of a second. Bruckner resets fast lap of the race. 52.384. It's less than a half a second now as Bruckner trying to reel in the leader. Ritter all by himself in third. Justice Leppy in the number 281. Better look out. Here comes Michael Mischoff. Able to get the pass to the inside, so Mischoff now to fourth. Leppy back to fifth. 6 is the 227 of Mason Cohen. And Jeff Fulham, the young driver out of Winnipeg, Manitoba, right there in the fight as well. Folks, it's always cool to see our eKartingNews.com readers rocking our eKan hats and T-shirts around the paddock. We certainly appreciate the support. Well, we're going to be awarding a new eKan.com Pure T-shirt this weekend. And all you have to do to get a chance to win this is get on Twitter and post a picture of you here at the racetrack or listening to the eKan live coverage at home. Post it up on Twitter. Make sure to use the hashtag eKan at COTA and include the at eKartingNews handle in your tweet. Get that up there. And we're going to pick the best photo submitted between Thursday, July 8th, a couple days ago, and midnight on the 11th. So midnight tomorrow will be the last time you get a chance. We'll award some new eKan apparel to the people who we deem have the best photos up on Twitter. Nick Bruckner definitely closing up here. Stingray Robb and Nick Bruckner in the fight up front. Bruckner slowly and methodically trying to reel in the leader. Kellen Ritter, comfortable by himself in third, and what a run it would be to the podium for young Ritter out of Vancouver, British Columbia, and BBR Karting. Bruckner trying to get it done here. Stingray Robb trying to dial things in a little bit here. A little bit quicker last time by. The gap just about 0.3 of a second. This fight further back, though, for fourth on back. Look at that. Fourth, fifth, and sixth. So that's 7th and 8th right there. 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. And 13th and 14th having a good little scrap here as well. I love seeing these young juniors stepping it up. That's Max Fedler and Tony Breidinger having a good battle here for 13th as well. Justice Lepe leading the next group there as, again, Robb, Bruckner, and Ritter are pretty much checked out. Robb and Bruckner separated by just maybe 3 or 4/10 of a second. Ritter by himself about 3 seconds back, then 5 seconds behind him. That's the big battle. Lepe, Mischoff, Fulham, Alavia, Brown, Cohen, Yu, all in the fight. For a while there, it looked like Bruckner was reeling him in. And Stingray Robb's found another gear, but able to hold him off. About 4 or 5 lengths as they come down here to turn number 11 again. But as we said, it's a long race here. 25 laps for the junior, senior, masters, and DD2 categories. Always like seeing the dads down there getting themselves all freaked out. Chris Ritter watching his son Kellen having a good run here into the third position. Chris on the grid, checking out the timing and scoring, watching the gaps, watching the lap times. He'd love to see his son Kellen work his way onto the podium, and definitely a possibility. Kellen Ritter having a really good run here right now in that third spot. I'll tell you, Bruckner's not done. He is not going to give up here as he continues to push. Last time by, Bruckner quicker by about a half a tenth. A 52.365 to a 52.317 for Bruckner. The margin now just a quarter of a second. Ritter all by himself in third and turning laps to hold on to that position. David Alavia has been able to work his way up to 4 spots, so a strong run for Alavia. Here comes Bruckner closing right up again, maybe a length and a half into 1. Loving this fight for 4th spot as well, Alavia and Mischoff. Looks like Trey Brown, the 228's been able to go back out in front of them. So it could be a 3-driver battle here for 4th and 5th. Trouble for Mischoff. Misses the apex a little bit. Car shovels out on the exit. That's allowed Alavia to dive back to the inside to take over 4th or 5th. Trey Brown now 4th. Alavia 5th. Mischoff 6th. Justice Leppy in 6th spot. Jeff Fulham in 7th. Dante Yu and Mason Cohen rounding out the top 10. Bruckner continues to try to push. Still 7 laps remaining. In fact, it'll be 6 to go this time by. And Bruckner doing whatever he can to try to close up on Stingray Robb. This could be a season-long battle here. It's definitely throughout the Challenge of the Americas. These 2 young drivers. Last year, raw rookies in the Junior Max category. With a season under their belts, much more calm, much more settled, poised, all that experience. Those are these drivers, so impressive. Stingray, part of the Team USA squad in Valencia, Spain this past November. And they're both going to battle for a ticket here this year. Bruckner with the points from the pole position already. Scored the pre-final win as well. Right up on Stingray now. He looks to the inside of turn number 1. No. Stingray comes across the bow from right to left to hold him back. But he knows he's there. The fight is on. Just the last time by. Bruckner turning fast lap of the race. 52.291. This time, though, falls back to a 52.8, lost 0.6 of a second on that last lap. Going to have to gather it all back up again. He's back by 0.6. He was right there. Now he's got to settle back in. Let's go back to this battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Fun to watch. Alavia back into 4th. Trey Brown, another young driver coming up from the Minimax category to micro this year, or rather to a junior this year. Raw rookie in the category and running in the top 5 now. So impressive. We did say a lot of drivers moving up from junior to senior this year, so a fresh new set of young talent here in Junior Max. Let's have a look at lap times this time by. Stingray Rob, 52.3, as does Bruckner actually quicker by about a 0.5 tenth. Going to try to chip away at it, but he's only got 3 more laps to go. Trey Brown into 4th as he's by Alavia. They've been able to leave Mischoff behind them by probably a second now, so this could be the battle for the final 2 positions in the top 5. Trey Brown runs 4th, Michael Alavia 5th. Brown on the Tony kart, Alavia on the comp kart. As we said, the comp kart, the only non-OTK product here in the top 10. Last time by again, Bruckner, 0.05 of a second quicker. It's only a 0.5 second now. He chipped a full 10th off. But he's got to do more than that if he wants to be in a position to challenge. 52.49 for Rob, 52.44 for Bruckner. Got to get closer. White flag will fly this time by. Could be a big day for the BBR karting crew as they've got drivers in 1st and 3rd. Ritter running in 3rd spot. Here's that battle for 4th and 5th. Alavia. Oh, Mischoff's been able to close up on Brown. Mischoff's going for 5th to the inside of Trey Brown. He's through. Michael Mischoff right there. Bruckner closes, folks. Bruckner to within a length. Final lap here in Junior Max. Bruckner was close, doesn't get a good run through turn number 9. Coming down the back straightaway. Bruckner hopping and jumping. Will he slide job him? No. Coming out of turn number 11 to 12, the winner in Junior Max for BBR Karting, Stingray Rob. 2nd place goes to Nick Bruckner, 3rd spot. Coming around here, Kellen Ritter. What a run for Kellen Ritter to 3rd spot. A big happy birthday present to his dad for sure. Nick Bruckner gave it everything he had, closed up on the final lap there, went quicker by about a 1/10 of a second. 0.252 on the margin between 1st and 2nd. Stingray Rob with the win. Nick Bruckner in 2nd. Kellen Ritter 3rd. David Alavia ends up in 4th, and he's able to stretch away a bit. Trey Brown getting back by Mike Bischoff for 5th. Good fight there. All those drivers in that battle for the final position in the top 5 was exciting. Alavia 4th, Trey Brown 5th, Michael Mischoff in 6th spot, Jeff Fulham in 7th, Justice Leppy in 8th, Dante Yu in 9th, and Mason Cohen rounding out your top 10. First of 6 main events done and in the books. That was fun to watch. Stingray Rob, folks, the winner today over Nick Bruckner and Kellen Ritter. So down here at the scale line right now, our driver's getting set to roll through the scales. Nick Bruckner had a really solid run there in the Orsalon Racing number 274 Tony Kart. He and Stingray Robb at a battle, and we expect more of that tomorrow. But when it comes to the podium, one of the great drivers to watch here this weekend. What a run for Kellen Ritter as he puts his car into third position. We'll see him on the podium presentations later on today. Next main event getting set to go on the grid right now. We'll roll them as soon as we get the track cleared and ready to go. A couple more cars being brought in here right now. Going to open the scales up right now and bring our first drivers through, and we'll get a chance to chat with Stingray Robb when he gets through here. Have a quick word with the winner of the first main event of the 2015 Challenge of the Americas. Rollison Performance Group sponsored Junior Max. That was definitely a good one with battles all the way through the field. We keyed on a couple of the fights for fourth and fifth, as well as some of the battles just inside the top 10 and outside the top 10 as well. As there was just some great racing all the way through, and I think that's kind of a testament to the racing we've had here over the last couple of years in the Challenge of the Americas. These drivers getting better and better, coming down and racing against the top talent here on the West Coast, and it's just been exciting to see what these drivers have been able to do as they continue to run against great competition. So Nick Bruckner through. They're going to pop that card up on top of the stand. He ends up with the second place finish in the main event. But remember, first place points in qualifying, first place points in the pre-final. So they're going to be very close when it comes to overall points from the day. Stingray Robb able to get through the scales. Makes weight. That's obviously part of the challenge as he gets met by the crew here from BBR Karting. Stingray, come over, have a quick chat with you, buddy. Congratulations, great run for you. Move over to the side here a little bit. What a battle! You and Nick had a good little fight there. Looked like your car was pretty good midway through the race because you were able to kind of stretch away from him a little bit.
Yeah, it was a great race. Nick raced very hard, and I was glad with the finish.
How'd you feel with the way your car was running? Were you happy with the setup on it?
Oh yeah, it was really good. Chris Black got the motor set up really well. My dad got the chassis good, and thankfully my teammate finished third.
Yeah, I know Kellen did a fantastic job. You know, one thing we always talk about, Stingray, anytime there's a two-day event, we ask you whether you're going to be able to get better tomorrow. You think you can make the car a little faster?
I think that we might be able to keep up with Nick tomorrow. So
good luck, buddy.
Thank you.
There he is, folks. Stingray Robb doing a fantastic job with the victory. He scores the win. Again, though, challenged aggressively, as we said, by Nick Bruckner. And again, he alluded to it as well. What a fantastic run for Kellen Ritter, the young Canadian. His first time on the podium. He has really turned things up. A great run for Kellen Ritter today. Third place in Junior Max as BBR Karting puts two drivers on the podium, and they will see the young Orsalon Racing driver Nick Bruckner alongside them. Junior Max, folks, done and wrapped up. We got more racing still to go here in Tucson, Arizona.